Hey guys, it's Penguin here, and welcome back to another gold making video. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about 5 very easy markets that you might want to consider getting into as, Shadowlands starts coming to an end. As you guys know, sales are getting slower and slower with Shadowlands. Of course, there will be a little pickup in Season 4, but as time goes on, sales are going to overall start getting slower until, of course, Dragonflight releases. So I wanted to cover 5 old world markets that are very easy to get into and also will last you basically from, now until forever. The great thing about old world is that it's already old, so it does not matter what expansion is currently happening because they will always be useful items. Now, of course, if you are a little bit more of a intermediate or advanced gold maker, you probably are either in or at least acknowledge these markets already. But if you're a beginner and you're somebody who gets very overwhelmed by possible choices and just the fact that Old World is so many expansions, hopefully this will give you a little bit of guidance. Of course, if you guys have any more suggestions that I did not cover in this video, feel free to leave it in the comments down below and you might help somebody out. But as always, everybody, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy this video, I would appreciate it if you like and subscribe if you want to see more. And here we go. So, as always, we're going to start off with the easier side of the markets and then get a little bit more technical or advanced as we go throughout this video. And so the first market we're going to be talking about is vanilla tailoring shirts. Now, the reason why I put this at number 1 is because it is extremely easy to get into. Basically, all you have to do is have a tailorer, and you have to go take the time to learn vanilla tailoring and level it up. I will make sure to leave a leveling guide in the description. It should not cost you a lot, and to be honest, you don't even have to level it to max because you just are looking for the shirt recipes and then you can leave it alone. But the reason why this is highly recommended is because they have very fast sell rates and they are insanely cheap to make. If you guys don't know, not only are shirts just used for the, standard cosmetic and transmog reasons, there is also an achievement tied to them, which you have to collect, I believe it's 100 shirt cosmetics, and you get an achievement. So this really helps with that sell rate, because not only are the transmog people buying these, also the achievement hunters. And like I said, they are insanely cheap. I will put some screenshots of some shirts that I have recently sold, but some of these crafting costs are even down to like 5 gold or even less. And yes, I might be only selling them for 50 gold a piece. Sometimes they can sell for like 5,000, but when you're spending 5 gold a piece, I will take the 30 gold profit or the 50 gold profit because that is over, quadrupling, 10 timesing our profit. Now, of course, this is not going to make you rich overnight, but I highly recommend getting into it if this is your first time stepping into Old World, because the fast sell rate will definitely be encouraging, and then you can mix in some of the slower sellers as you level up more professions and just get your overall Old World markets started. Now, sticking with tailoring, there's only going to be 2 tailoring, so don't be too scared if you're not a tailorer. But the second thing I want to talk about are bags, and I just want to throw in the flying carpet. Flying carpet requires wrath tailoring. I've talked about it before, but it's very easy to level, and it is very cheap to make. If you guys are not familiar with this item, it is basically just a tailoring mount that people will add to their collection, and I sell it for anywhere between 800 to about 1200 gold. Now, of course, that's not going to make you rich, and you'll see that that is a theme throughout this video, but it is insanely cheap to make once again. I think I crafted for about 100 to 150 gold, selling it for, 800 to 1200 gold. That's a pretty good chunk of profit. And I can sell a few of these a week. But the main thing I want to focus on is bags. Now, there is bags tied to all different expansions of tailoring, so please don't be stressed out that you have to level your tailoring to max, especially if you don't have the gold, but I'll just list a few of my favorites, and then of course, you can go level to your choosing. But I've had very great success with the Otherworldly bag as well as the Expedition bag. That both comes from Kata Tailoring. They are great because they have very high slots for specific professions, so a lot of people decide to use those over just our traditional, shrouded cloth bags. Then we have the Hexweave bag, which is, the Garrison lover's favorite, and this comes from WoD. It's just a very popular bag, and people still buy it to this day. Same thing goes with the Netherweave. These are very, very cheap. They sell for maybe 15 gold a piece, but you can craft them for 2 gold or less most of the time because Netherweave cloth is, it costs like pennies or coppers, I should say. Then we have the Silkweave satchel, which comes from Legion Tailoring. This is great. I sell them on a daily basis. Sometimes I can pick up the Shadowrise silk for a few silver, so less than a gold each, and I can sell this bag for, a couple hundred, so there's really good margins. Then lastly, if you can get your hands on some very cheap deep sea satin, or if you decide to shuffle it, the deep sea bags are very, very great. Now, before you comment or say anything, a ton of people always ask me, alright Penguin, why do people buy these bags? Shrouded cloth are cheap, lightless silk is cheap, these bags are like half the slots, why do people buy this? And it just really comes down to the customers and their preference and just sticking to what they know. I know for the longest time, even though I could afford bags, I would make a new alt and just the first thing my mind would do is buy Netherweave bags. Even though they cost like 16 gold a piece and I can pay like 100 more for a way better bag, it was just kind of, muscle memory and what I stuck with. This happens to a lot of people with the Hexweave bags and honestly could also happen with any of these. So do not knock it until you try it. Old world bags are amazing. And of course, the rule of thumb, if it sells, you should put it on the auction house. It doesn't always have to make sense. Alright, number 3, we are going to get a little bit more complicated, and this is old world enchants. Now, if you guys are a long-term follower of this channel, you know that I love old world enchants, and I will talk about it every chance I get, and here we go again. And the reason why I talk about these enchants so much is just because of how well they sell. If you guys think about it, there are enchants needed for twink tunes, regardless if that's a PvP twink or like a dungeon leveling twink. Then we just have general leveling enchants, we have time walking gear, we have the mage tower time walking gear, and so many reasons. We even have cosmetic reasons with the Tome of Illusions on why there's so much demand. And the great thing is, it seems as time goes on, we get more and more reasons. For example, the Mage Tower returning permanently, now we just have more sales coming in. And of course, a theme on this list is that they are very cheap to craft. Really, the most expensive you'll probably be spending is either for the Legion enchants or for the Tome of Illusions, and it's probably going to be less than like 2,000 or 4,000 gold a piece. Everything else being, 100 gold or less, or, just very, very cheap. Also, all you have to do is just go and level up enchanting. Of course, there's more recipes that you can get as you, farm or buy them from vendors, do some reputation stuff. Of course, there's always ways to expand, but you can make a ton of gold by just learning the trainer enchants and selling them on the auction house. Just a quick tip if you are interested in this market, if you join the Discord, I do have a free TSM profile that includes a group with all of the enchants I sell, including operations. So feel free to download that if you want to use it. Also, if you don't want a full-on profile, that group is also available separately, just in case for personal preference. Alright, now we're getting into a little bit more of the complicated side, and this is going to be Shadowlands glyphs. When I mean complicated, I simply mean a little bit more work, as a lot of glyphs are tied to reputation, which you may or may not have at the current moment. Now technically this is a Shadowlands market, however, because it is glyphs, this is going to be forever needed as time goes on. As you guys know, each glyph has a unique cosmetic ability, and so even glyphs from, Legion or Vanilla are still being used to this day, because if somebody wants that cosmetic change, they have to go and get that glyph. So right now is just a perfect time to take advantage of those rep grinds, so you don't have to come back during Dragonflight and do Shadowlands content, because, who wants to be in Zereth Mortis, or who wants to be running around doing callings and stuff, in the middle of Dragonflight. So if you guys haven't already, get onto your scribe and start looking for these recipes. Some of them you just buy from a vendor in the open world, some of them come from reputation, some of them are world drops, but they are very easy to get. I do have a video covering the 9.1.5 glyphs, which I will leave in the description down below, and there are 2 additional glyphs that come from Zereth Mortis. One is tied to reputation, and the other is tied to a storyline. So, highly recommend using your downtime to do it now so you don't have to do it later. Now, the last market I want to talk about is pets. Now, I will just say straight off the bat, pets are not going to be for everybody. It does require a pretty good amount of setup at the beginning. Well, really, you just get, how much gold you put into it is how much gold you're going to get out of it. So it does depend on the person, but if you are willing to put in some work, pets can be amazing and a really good source of semi-passive income in the future. To this day, I've made over 2 million gold profit in pets on my personal server, and I have a few million gold spread out between 5 different servers just strictly on pets. Now you may ask, okay, why do you have, gold split between servers? What do you do with it? And it just depends. A lot of times I will use that gold to buy more cheap pets to bring back to my main realm to just make myself more gold, or let's say I need a WoW token, I can use that excess gold on a random server so I don't have to take it from my main server. And of course that same thing goes if I need Blizz balance, if I don't want to spend my current server, main server gold, I can go redeem a WoW token on any of those side servers, and it'll make me, feel less bad about spending gold. But in general, I think pets, it's a very low stress market to be in. Of course, you do have to kind of spend some time setting it up as in buying pets, but once you do, you can just make gold, check on it once a day, and just let the gold start flowing in. Now, I do have a few beginner pet tutorials from the past, and if you guys would like an updated one, I will definitely work on that in the future. But I just wanted to give you a quick few tips on basically my pet setup. What I do is every few weeks I go to the auction house and I search/battle pets in the browsing menu. And I change my default variable into settings to the DB region market average, so I'm comparing prices based on the region average. Then it takes a while for that list to populate, but then I will just scroll through, pick some good pets that are under about the 40 to 50% region range. So I buy up a few that I think are a good deal, and then I learn them. Then I go onto a different server. This can be 1 server, this can be 5 servers, and then I use the add-on Battle Pet Cage Match. What this add-on does is you can go into the settings and type in a threshold. Let's say we do 80% of that DB region market average. Then you click a button and it will cage all the pets that meet that minimum price. Then all you have to do is post them on the auction house, come back in 24 hours when they expire, and just keep reposting. So to just give you a recap, basically I buy pets on a server for less than, 40% of the region average. Then I go to a different server and sell it for 80% or above of the region average. So I'm making, double my gold or so, give or take, on each pet. Now, keep in mind, pets are very similar to transmog, as you do need a good amount of them. I'm not saying you need 2,000 of them like a lot of transmog, but you do need maybe like 100 or so to get pretty frequent sales. If you buy 5 pets, you should not expect a sale every single day. You're going to need more than that. But yeah, that is just a great market to get in once again. And of course, if you want more information, feel free to ask me in the comments down below. But those are kind of my 5 groups. Now, this video is not top secret knowledge. A lot of people are already selling these items, but if you're a new player and you have never stepped into Old World, hopefully this gives you some direction. Of course, if you guys need anything, feel free to leave it in the comments down below, or join the Discord and you can either DM me or ask in our questions channel and get a response pretty quickly. I appreciate you guys for hanging out and watching this video to the end, and of course, let me know what's selling best for you, and if you have any additional tips. But as always, everybody, thank you so much, and have a good day.